Hey Toy, so I'm going to use your comment to answer why I kicked her out and give y'all the part two and answer some of the questions that y'all have. Okay, so the short answer to why I kicked her out was like she just wasn't supposed to be there. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Like, her being there, like if I woke up that day and be like, girl, yeah, you gotta go, I was well justified because I had no business having her there. But like once we got her back to the apartment, we definitely asked her, like, you don't got nowhere else you could go? Like, remember, it's Sunday. I got school the next day. It's Sunday night at this point. This girl is just bawling, crying. She's like been through a lot. And so we trying to like ease into like, you got to get the fuck out of here. Do you have anybody that you can go with? Those questions were definitely asked. And she was like, no, I have nobody. And so we were like, wow, okay, let's see how this is going to work. And so the conversation was always like, you need to get yourself a job and like, you can just get an apartment out here. We were two 19-year-olds doing it like we thought she could do it too. Like, but she was going to get up out of there. And so my best friend at the time ended up getting her a job where she worked, right? Y'all, I kid you not, within the week, maybe two, the girl got fired. Got fired and be eating up all of our little food, baby. Our food stretched to buy hot dogs, noodles, sandwiches, and raviolis, baby. We was college students. We was broke, and she was just there. And so then we also had some neighbors. We gonna call them ding and dong, okay? Our neighbors was some hot boys. Like they had girls running in and out their apartment all day, every day. College students, okay? Just like us. And we would tell her like, cause they would try to holler at her too. They would try to holler at us, but we wasn't on that type of time with them. We would tell her like, don't do that. Like they next door, you don't want to mess with them because if something go wrong, like they just right there. Like just don't do that. By week 3, she was in Ding and Dong apartment. I don't know if she slept with Ding or Dong, but it was one of them, and multiple times. I had another like guy friend. Me and him are just cool, not like that at all. She even slept with him, like behind the apartment. Like once he came over, like to do homework one time. Like, girl, what are you doing? And so by like I want to say like the month came, we were like, yeah, she gotta go. My mom ends up having like a medical emergency and going to the ICU. Like the doctors were telling me, like, yeah, we don't know how to keep her alive. She's gonna die, right? And so my mom was also like my best friend's mom. So like when I would be going to the hospital, like she'll go with me. And yeah, of course you gotta come with us because you ain't staying in our apartment. Get your stuff and go. Like Monique said, when I get my purse, everybody in the house get their purse. Let's go. So I would be at the hospital all day with my mother, right? And she would be up there like, I'm ready to go back to the apartment. How long we gonna be up here? How long we gonna be up here? Girl, excuse you? Girl, when I tell y'all life was life and I'm still trying to go to school, work, and deal with my mama dying and this baby mama living with me. It just was a wild time. And honestly, like emotionally, I just did not have the capacity to deal with it. Like, y'all, I'm 19, fresh 19. Girl, my mama is, the doctor telling me she died. My love of my life that made a baby on me. That baby didn't die. This baby mama with me. Like, I was just, I think, numb. Just like navigating it the best way I knew how. And so that's also how my mom didn't really know she was staying with me. And so like when my mom was getting better and she was getting ready to get out the hospital, like I was telling her like, Mom, this is kind of what's going on. She was like, oh no, we getting up out of here today. So when I brought my mom to my apartment, I was like, hey, my mom said, you can't live with me no more. Like you got to go. And so yeah, we packed up all of her things, all that she accumulated in that time. And guess where we took her? Just guess. To her mama house. Dropped her off. And she went right on in that time. I mean, yeah, wild. And there are a lot more components and elements to that story, but we ain't finna do no 50-part Risa Tisa. But at the time in my life, y'all, I can't explain myself. I was young and super dumb, to answer the question. So some of the questions y'all had. So whatever happened to him? I didn't stop like dealing with him till we were like 23 or 24. We still like messed around here and there, and I just like couldn't get over him. Like first love is just the worst love sometimes. But current day, he is still one of my like best friends. It's not like that, honey. We stopped dealing with him at 23 and 24. He currently has 5 children and 5 baby mothers. True story. That 5 does include little miss that went to heaven too. So yeah, he never calmed down. He just, again, yeah. But like every birthday, he'll call and check in sometimes, not often, like maybe like once or twice a year. Like we're still like super cool again. We were like best friends. Somebody asked, did I realize that his mama played in my face? Later on down the line, yes. Initially, no. Again, I was only 19, but now as a fully grown, developed woman, 110%. Definitely played in my face and played on like how naive and young I was, for sure. Also, the part that I want y'all to understand, y'all like, you let that girl stay with you, oh my God. Think about her story, right? Like put yourself in her shoes. What would make her even want to live with the girlfriend of the guy she got pregnant for and just lost a baby for? Like, what kind of situation was she in? Now listen, I wasn't grown enough to even think about that back then, but now that I'm older and again, we fully developed and matured, she had to be going through some things to even want to or be willing to live with me, of all people. Somebody asked did I ever talk to her again. Yes. So we actually became cool like I want to say like a year later. So not like we were best friends or anything like that. But of course she had my number. I had her number. So she would just be like, how are you doing? And I would text her back and talk to her. And I did like see her again like a couple of times. Like just, we lived in the same town. So yeah, I seen her and it wasn't, she was going through a lot. A broken girl, just like me, young and dumb, doing stupid stuff. Another question y'all have is like, why was he so mad at me for like letting her live with me? Like the nerve of him. That is a question that, honey, I still don't quite know the answer to. Again, I don't know what happened in the situation where their baby passed away, but they both like hated each other after that. He like hated her. He has to this day still never ever talked to her. To this day. Like the day that I picked her up was the last day he ever spoke to her to this very day. And I guess he seen it as a betrayal or something, honey. I don't know. I don't know why he got so mad at me. But he was pissed. But also realizing he's also 19. He's also just lost a child. He's also sad, mad, depressed at the world. So that's in hindsight. Going through it at the time, no, I didn't understand it. But like looking back, it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. Another question was, why did I like continue to stay with him like when he was sleeping with girls? I don't know how to answer this question. I knew he was just one I wanted to be with. And okay, so when we were together and I was like not having sex, he wouldn't be having sex with like a lot of girls like over and over again. There were like long periods of time where it would just be me and him together. We would fight, get into it, whatever. He would go sleep with a girl. And that theme continued like once we did start having sex. Like there'll be a long period of time, it'll just be me and him, we'll be good, we'll fight, he'll go have sex with a girl. Rinse and repeat. And so why did I stay? I think just being at a very young age, I understood like if you're going to be with somebody forever when you're young, you're going to go through things. That's what I would tell myself, like, we're just young right now. He's going to get it out of his system and we're going to eventually be together. I don't know where I got that from. I don't know who taught that to me, but baby, that's what I literally had in my head. Like I had in my head, these were just college years and people mess around in college. And after college, you end up together and it gets greater later. That was literally the theme in my head, like since we were like 16. I don't know where I got that from, honey. And I think I answered like all of y'all questions. So thank y'all for watching. Thanks for those who did not judge me and understood how I ended up in that situation. Very young, soft-hearted, empathy, all that stuff. Didn't really know how to navigate that. And baby, I ended up in the situation. For those that did judge me, I understand because I judge myself now. And even back then too. It was all dumb. It was all stupid. But I was only 19. You live and you learn and you grow. Let it try me today, baby. Girl, you wouldn't get far. But anyways, all right, bye y'all.